Hey, welcome to a new video. It's me again, and today I'm showcasing some 5 of the best mid-game farms you should have in Minecraft. So the first one we're gonna cover is the sheep farm. It's a pretty simple farm, which produces, if you AFK'd enough, quite a bit of wool, which is useful for making a lot of beds if you're going to mine netherite a lot, or you can use it to make things like map art, carpet tubers, or whatever you want it for. But the main thing I use it for is to have a lot of beds to make netherite mining a lot easier. So you need some glass or other blocks, but I like to see what's happening. You need a way to get a sheep, so either you lure them with wheat, use a lead, or you have a sheep spawn egg if you're playing creative, but then the sheep farm won't be needed. You have to collect the stuff, doing so with a minecart hopper, a hopper, and a chest. You need the collection system itself, the farming system, which is consisting of one dispenser, one redstone dust, an observer, and a couple of shears. So the way you make this farm is you start with a kind of cubicle out of glass. You can remove the blocks around or have them different blocks, but make sure that at least one of the blocks beneath the glass is grass as well. So the block where the sheep is standing on is grass as well. Can get turned back into grass, I'm sorry. So then you're gonna place a dispenser like this, an observer like this. So the observer points into the block behind it and observes the grass block below the sheep. Behind the dispenser you're gonna place a redstone dust, and in the dispenser you're gonna put at least two pieces of shears, but you can also fill it with 9, of course. So what happens when the sheep eats the grass? It will the observer will see it turn into dirt, the block. So it sends a signal into the dispenser, causing to shear the sheep. And every time a sheep eats grass, it regrows its wool, so it's immediately sheared again. You can put like this in a wall, you can just put another glass block on that, that's not really important. So you can put the sheep in then, which is gonna be farmed. And to collect the wool, we're gonna use the chest, the hopper, and a minecart with hopper. That is because a minecart with hopper cannot directly feed a chest. Oh, I picked a trap chest up accidentally. Fuck. Yeah. So you have a chest with the hopper on top, and you put the reel on there, and the reel on there, and the minecart with hopper. So preferably the rails like this, so the minecart can't roll away. This is because minecart hoppers can pick up items through full blocks, and but they can't feed it directly into a chest. So the minecart hopper picks up the wool, feeds it into the hopper, and then into the chest. If you would leave this for a long time, you can speed up the first one by shearing the sheep manually. And you see there's 3 white wool. If you wait for a couple of minutes until the sheep eat some grass, and when the sheep eats some grass, you see it's regrowing its wool, which is feeding into the hopper, and you get some more wool. So that's the first farm, the sheep farm. And we'll go on to the second farm. The second farm I'm gonna talk about is the blaze farm, which this exact farm has been built in my other tutorial about a blaze farm. This one is really useful for a couple of things. Especially blaze rods are in most Minecraft servers are they great to sell, because they mostly bring a lot of money. And in single player worlds they're good because you can use them as a fuel. They burn quite a lot of blocks, so if you have a lot of blaze rods like I did, you can burn a lot of glass. And also, of course, if you brew potions a lot, you will need some blaze rods as well. In my opinion, a blaze farm is not that hard to make. The hardest part is probably either gathering the materials or building the farm without dying because of all the blazes that are still spawning. But if you manage to build one, the link of the video I made for that is in the description. You will, or you can click on the top right, there will be a little Y, an eye that shows that video. So the reason why this farm is so useful, wait, I already told that. Anyways, the next farm I want to talk about is a Enderman Farm. It's a really useful farm, and it's pretty easy to make because it doesn't take a lot of materials. As you can see, it's just a platform with a hole in it. The hardest part is gathering the endermite to actually get the enderman down here, and it will provide a shit ton of ender pearls, as you can see, like a real shit ton. So if you would ever need ender pearls, you will have them if you have this farm. And if you are playing on a multiplayer world again with an economy system, you can sell them off for a lot of money. And the main reason I have an Enderman farm is because of the XP. It gives a lot of XP, as you can see. It is really easy to make, and it gathers loads and loads of XP, which is very useful for things like enchanting or mending your tools and armor if you have mending on them. So an Enderman farm is the only downgrade to an Enderman farm is that you have to beat the Ender Dragon first, because you have to make it in the end, obviously, which is maybe not that mid-game, but usually after I have beaten the Ender Dragon, I play for a lot longer on a server. So it depends on what you consider mid-game, I think. The Enderman farm is not costing a lot of materials. It's really easy to make, and definitely one of the best XP farms out there, considering the time you need to make it compared to things like a Guardian farm. So I might make a tutorial about an Enderman farm, but just like the Blaze farm, it is not my design. So there's probably better tutorials out there already, but I don't know what I'm gonna do. So next up is a slime farm. A slime farm is not that hard to make, and I forgot I built the entrance to my slime farm in with my beautiful with my beautiful food farm, which I'm gonna showcase next. But anyways, the slime farm is definitely a must-have. It gives you a lot of slime balls, which in turn can be used to either make tubers or slime blocks if you use them frequently, sticky pistons, and we all know we use most sticky pistons quite a lot. It's also really easy to make if you use a simple design like I did. You can of course enhance them with you can of course make them better with using iron golems to lure the slimes to you or anything like that. The design is pretty simple. You just need to make layers of 3 high that are lighted up in a slime chunk, which can be found by either mining below Y level 40 and seeing which chunks slime spawn, or using your seed to use a site like Chunkbase, which will be have a link in the description, where you can find which chunks on your in your world are exactly slime chunks. I'm sorry, because slimes only spawn in slime chunks on a Y level above 7 and Y level lower than 40. The collection system is also really easy. It's just a bunch of magma blocks with hopper minecart below, and as you can see, the rest of the farm consists of just loads and loads of layers of where slimes can spawn in, and most of the time the slimes will just walk from the platforms by just hopping randomly. You could use trapdoors on the sides, but they aren't really necessary because, to be honest, most slimes hop and don't walk, unlike most other mobs, so you don't really need to have them have another block type to let them think there's a block they can stand on. So because as you can see, I don't have trapdoors on it, and if you AFK for a couple of hours, you get plenty of slime balls. Of course, this farm is pretty simple to make, so I probably won't make a tutorial out of it unless people want to, but there are loads of slime farm tutorials out there because everyone needs a slime farm at some point in their world. The only downgrade to making a slime farm is probably either finding the slime chunk or mining the entire chunk out, because you will need to mine a lot of blocks. Just the easiest way to mine out a full chunk is having a full beacon with haste 2 and an efficiency 4 or 5 pickaxe, because then you will be able to insta mine the blocks, but it will still take some time. The slime farms are sometimes made in oceans because it's easier to get lower, deeper into the ground there, but that's just personal preference, really. The last farm I want to cover is probably any type of food farm. I usually just use a wheat farm because you can get lots of bread, and it's easy to make. Like you see here, it's just a stream of water with farmland next to it. You can't make it full automatic, unlike some other food farms, but this is my preference. You can also make something like a hoglin farm, which you make on top of the nether roof, or you can make a farm like, I don't know much food farms because I always use this one, but they're really easy to make. You don't really need a tutorial for these. Just remember, blocks can be hydrated up, farmlands can be hydrated up to 4 blocks distance, and water flows 8 blocks, up to 8 blocks far. So that's basically it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was of any kind of use for you. If you have any ideas for videos, because I don't, please leave a comment for it, because yeah, I don't know how content creators get that much inspiration for videos anyways. See ya.